تغير تاني من عمليه حتى بعدك نظفوا النزاله ده وقالوا لنا 15000 ما في عندنا ماشين شالوا نزاله ماشين فينا انا اديناهم ال 15000 وشلنا البيت وديناه في عنبر. انا قاعد اسال النزاله دي ب 15000 ده العنبر ذاته ما بوصل في 1000 متر، اللي هو نزاله ما فيه جاز ما فيه بنزين ما فيه لساتك ما فيه اسبرات، ده الشيء بتاع نزاله الزي بتاع بيشيلوا لعيبه بتاع كوره. يا اخوانا دايرين نفس وين؟ دول مريض يشيلوا من عمليه لعنبر ب 15000.
Sounds of the Week on iRadio, your eye on South Sudan. Live from Juba, on air and online.
This is iRadio News.
Hello, good afternoon. This is iRadio News. First, here are the headlines. The Chief Justice and President of the Supreme Court of South Sudan has issued administrative orders deploying a total of 34 judges to strengthen the judiciary across the country. The Commission of Kajukeji County has described the humanitarian situation of internally displaced persons in the area as dire following a recent attack by the Ugandan People's Defense Forces that forced thousands of civilians from their homes. And the Commission of Mundri West County in Western Equatoria State says the road leading to Mundri East County has been cut off due to heavy rains in the area. These are stories and more coming to you in this news bulletin with me, Baria Johnson, and now the news in detail. The Chief Justice and President of the Supreme Court of South Sudan has issued administrative orders deploying a total of 34 judges to strengthen the judiciary across the country. Helen Samuel files this report.
In an order dated 28th of July 2025 issued by Dr. Benjamin Bakdeng, the Chief Justice, 18 High Court judges were promoted and deployed to serve as justices of the Court of Appeal across the 3 circuits of the country, with 7 judges for Greater Equatoria, 6 judges for Greater Bahr el Ghazal, and 5 judges for Greater Upper Nile. This deployment follows appeals from lawyers and activists over the backlog of cases pending in the appellate courts. In an order shared with iRadio Newsroom, Malo Yel Akok was appointed as President of the Court of Appeal in Juba under the Greater Equatoria Circuit. He is joined by Sumeya Saleh Abdallah, Noah Gabriel Kau, Acham Tong Onwar, Abraham Majur Lat, and Dr. Charles Oyo Nyawelo. For WAU, Greater Bahr el Ghazal Circuit, the order assigned Andrew Joshua Ladu to serve as president. Other appointed justices include Dwath Ulang Bichiok, Obach Denyong Ajong, Nicola Nyol Makwach, Matiang Kwach Matiang, and Bol Ayue Akwei. For Malakal, Greater Upper Nile Circuit, the Chief Justice appointed Garang Ajak Deng as president for the court. He is supported by Kwol Manyoch Deng, Dr. Kimo Othwandak, Alexander Sabur Sobek, and Michael Atem Chol. All appointed justices are expected to report to their respective courts within 2 weeks from July 31st. The order states that complaints about the deployment will only be entertained 6 months after the order's date. In a related development, the Chief Justice also issued another deployment order promoting and assigning 16 judges to various high courts following their elevation from county courts in Equatoria. Dr. Ladu Arinmo Sekwat, Lawrence Bensino Jaja, Peter Mazen Chol, Ogweli Wot Okumu, and Bulen Lako. And for Bahr el Ghazal, the Chief Justice's order appointed Gordon El Adam, Digo Stephen Abraham, Dudu Jackson Jejen, Joshua Ladu Santo, Angelo Daniel Gwang, and Mangisto Amos Wajia. While in Upper Nile, Dr. Bag appointed Peter Nyok Dope, Yaye Anywan Akot, Mujahid Abdallah Adam, Malik Chol Malek, and Francis Amum Awien. He said these deployments are part of ongoing judicial reforms aimed at enhancing access to justice and reducing case backlogs across the Republic of South Sudan. For iRadio, Helen Samuel reporting.
Thank you, Helen Samuel. The Commissioner of Kajukeji County has described the humanitarian situation of internally displaced persons in the area as dire following a recent attack by the Ugandan People's Defense Forces that forced thousands of civilians from their homes. Speaking after visiting 6 IDP locations within the county, Commissioner Jackson Mule reported that many of the displaced are lacking basic necessities including food and shelter. He noted that due to the absence of designated camps, some IDPs have taken refuge in public facilities such as schools, training centers and churches. According to the Commissioner, approximately 15,304 individuals spread across 2,934 households have been displaced as a result of the violence. Despite the scale of the displacement, Mule assured that the security situation in the area has since stabilized.
The condition is very difficult. There are some areas that there is no sleeping places, particularly in 3 of the sites. At least in some of the 3 sites, the big house in primary and secondary schools. But in some areas, sometimes you find a very small thatched house, and all congested in, which is not even having a wall. This is the problem. They just share from the host community. The displaced people have not gone back. They are still in the area of displacement. The day before Saturday, I was put together in the morning with the team and they visited all the IDPs. And we've got 6 locations where the IDPs in. The households, now report they get me, households are 2,934. And then the individuals, the population is 16,304. This is the total number of IDPs.
Meanwhile, Commissioner Mule said UPDF soldiers have established presence in several areas across Kajukeji. The Commissioner of Mundri West County in Western Equatoria State says the road leading to Mundri East County has been cut off due to heavy rains in the area. Speaking to iRadio in an interview from Mundri town this morning, Zelfa Dawa said flash floods and rainfall have submerged key sections of road infrastructure, disrupting transportation across the region. She said that access between villages in Mundri East County and beyond has been severely affected.
In regard to general situation, even I myself, I went to Juba by road and then I come back by road. I think it is a couple of 14 days, the road is normal. And 1 week now, it happened in Maridi. But also people are traveling. Involved is okay. There's nothing there. The road is okay. Only in Kediba, I would say that the issue of infrastructure, the road is very bad. It could not make things easy because of road security. The place is too swamp, and then you cannot travel at this time unless you have a strong vehicle. Then you can go. You can reach to Kediba, but I don't know. Because the commission is going to install in the Kediba headquarters, but I don't know how the commission is going to reach there. I don't know. We're still planning on it.
According to her, the road closure is expected to severely impact the transport of goods and supplies, which may lead to shortages and rising prices in the affected areas. A similar disruption occurred in September 2024 when flash floods washed out the road linking Mundri to Juba, trapping around 1,000 trucks. You are listening to iRadio Afternoon News. Speaker Jemanu Nukumba has clarified that it is the responsibility of lawmakers to initiate discussions on national issues amid criticism that the Assembly is focusing too much on foreign reports. Her comment came after Atem Garang, an SPLM MP representing Twitch East and Duke constituency in Jongle State, criticized the Assembly's focus on external affairs. Since the reopening of the Assembly's first session last month, lawmakers have raised concerns over insecurity, economic hardship, and worsening humanitarian conditions. However, recent sittings have mainly been about international trips. Last week, MPs reviewed reports from the 2025 Regional Innovative Stakeholders Forum in Nairobi. the Eastern Nile Technical Regional Office, and an official visit to Pakistan presented by Kumkum Gang. The House also listened to a report on 105th Interparliamentary Union Assembly presented by Gabriel Godgod. Last week, a member requested the summoning of the Minister of Finance and Planning and the Governor of the Bank of South Sudan over the ongoing liquidity crisis that has left public servants unpaid. On Monday, another MP called for the summoning of the Ministers of Defense, Interior and National Security to explain an alleged attack by Ugandan forces on civilians in Kajukeji, Central Equatoria State. Speaking in Parliament today, lawmaker Garang urged the Speaker to shift attention to pressing domestic issues.
The third observation is that all the reports we are doing those days are all external. There's none which is internal. No any delegation has gone to any state to see the impact of flooding, impact of insecurity, impact of in any one of the states. So I want you, Madam Speaker, to have teams going to our state also to come and report as we are reporting issues which may not help the economy of our country.
In response, Speaker Kumba said that members of parliament are not restricted from travelling to their states to assess challenges such as floods, insecurity and the worsening humanitarian situation and bringing those findings back to the House.
For the committees, you are talking about the situations in the country, the floods, the situation in the country. Honestly, we have a specialized committees in this parliament. If it has to do with humanitarian issues, we have a committee and a committee on education and everything. So nobody is preventing members of parliament from going into the states and look at issues on the state and report to parliament. So the program, the plan has to come from you. From you. We have a situation in Jongole, for example. We have a situation in Lakes State. We want to go and see what is happening there and come and report to the House. So that initiative has to come from you.
And finally, the Ministry of Youth and Sports has warned youth associations against engaging in political activities, stressing their important role in peace building, promoting national unity and fostering development. In a statement issued this morning, the ministry said it has observed that some youth associations are becoming involved in political agendas contrary to the purpose for which they were established. According to the statement, all youth associations must remain non-partisan and operate strictly within the regulations governing their formation. The ministry also urged young people across the country to reject division and instead focus on peace, unity and national development. It warned that youth-led groups found engaging in political activities risk being deregistered. The statement reads in part, and I quote, "The ministry encourages all youth and young people across the country to embrace the government's continued appeal to shun division and instead work for peace, unity and the development of our beloved republic. In no uncertain terms, the Ministry of Youth and Sports hereby notifies all youth associations to heed this appeal, failing which may attract potential deregistration." End quote. You're listening to iRadio Afternoon News, and now for the regional and international news, we are joined by my colleague Madrama James.
Thanks, my colleague Baria Johnson. Let's have a look at some of the stories trending across the globe. More than 7,000 cases of a mosquito-borne virus have been reported across China's Guangdong province since July, prompting measures similar to those taken during the COVID-19 pandemic. In Foshan City, which has been hit the hardest, Kichungoya patients must stay in a hospital where their bed is protected with mosquito nets. Spread through the bite of an infected mosquito, the virus virus causes a fever and severe joint pain, which sometimes can last for years. Elsewhere, the UK-French one-in-one-out pilot scheme aimed at reducing the number of small boats crossing the channel has come into force with the detentions of illegal migrants due to start within days. The deal will see some of those arriving in the UK in small boats detained and returned to France. In exchange, the UK will accept from France an equal number of asylum seekers, provided they have not already tried to make the crossing and can pass the security and eligibility checks. And finally, U.S. Attorney General Pam Pody has ordered prosecutors to open legal proceedings into allegations that political opponents of Donald Trump may have conspired to forcibly accuse him of colluding with Russia in the run-up to the 2016 presidential election. According to the BBC's U.S. partner CBS News, prosecutors will submit evidence to grand jury, a group of members to the public who will decide whether formal charges will be filed. It is not clear how, what those charges might be, and who could be charged. Those are some of the stories making headlines around the globe, and back to you, my colleague Baria Johnson.
Thank you, Madrama. And now for the sports news, we are joined by my colleague Darlington Moses.
Thank you so much, Baria Johnson. And now to the sport news. In their opening African Nations Championships, CHAN Group C match in Kampala on Monday, Algeria thumped Uganda 3-0. Uganda's defeat means it is the only co-hosting nation to lose their CHAN's opening match following twin victories for Tanzania and Kenya over the weekend. Kenya got their first African Nations Championship CHAN campaign off to a winning start on Sunday following the footsteps of a fellow co-host, Tanzania. In today's matches, Sudan will face Congo-Brazzaville and Nigeria will play Senegal. The 2025 African Nations Championship CHAN is taking place this year in a groundbreaking format jointly hosted by Kenya, Uganda and Tanzania from August 2nd to 30th. And British sprinter Reece Briscoe says athletes pushed him physically, mentally and emotionally in ways he never imagined possible as he announced his decision to retire from the sport. The 29-year-old has hung up his running spikes after a decade as a professional, which saw participate in 3 World Championships and the 2020 Olympic Games. Briscoe is the 4th fastest British man ever over 100 meters with a personal best of 9.93 seconds, a tenth of a second behind Zurnal Hakia's national record. He won a silver medal in the 100 meter at the 2018 European Championships in Berlin and picked up bronze in the 4x100 meters relay on 2022 World Cups in Uruguay. In tennis, teenager Victoria Mboko continued her fairy tale run at the Canadian Open as the breeze passes Spain's Jessica Bonzal Monero to reach the semi-finals. The 18-year-old Canadian, who knocked out 2-time major winner Coco Gauff in the 4th round, impressed again on home soil with a 6-4, 2-3 win in Montreal. She faced 2022 Wimbledon champion Elena Rybakina, the 9th seed in her first WTA 100 plus 900 level semi-final. Boko started the year ranked 333rd in the World Cup and also is set to move into the top 50 when the rankings are updated next week. This is iRadio Sport News. I am Darlington Moses.
Thank you, Darlington Moses. You're listening to iRadio News, and to end this bulletin, here's a recap of the headlines once again. The Chief Justice and President of the Supreme Court of South Sudan has issued administrative orders deploying a total of 34 judges to strengthen the judiciary across the country. The Commission of Kajukeji County has described the humanitarian situation of internally displaced persons in the area as dire following a recent attack by the Ugandan People's Defense Forces that forced thousands of civilians from their homes. And the Commission of Mundri West County in Western Equatoria State says the road leading to Mundri East County has been cut off due to heavy rains in the area. That's the end of iRadio Afternoon News. If there is a story or an event you would like iRadio to cover or report about, please send us a text message on +211 925 287870. It's also our WhatsApp number. Follow us on X at iRadio Juba, like our Facebook page, iRadio, subscribe to our YouTube channel at iRadio South Sudan. You can also visit our website and listen to us online at www.iradio.org. Stay tuned for the news in Arabic at 1:30. I am Baria Johnson. Thanks for listening.